Hello everyone, welcome to Lukmaan IAS. Today we are going to have our daily Takkar Rapid Series session, which is also known as DTRS session. In this DTRS session, we are going to discuss 10 most important current affair topics, and we are going to explain you this topic through questions, right? So it will be a kind of current affair revision and also practice for the prelims exam. So let us quickly see one of the quotation that we discuss every day as part of this discussion. This quotation will help you to stay motivated, and also it will help you in your essay paper and ethics paper. So this quotation is from Swami Vivekananda. We know him, right? He has been an intellectual person and he has played a very important role in India, right? So let us discuss about this quotation by Swami Vivekananda. He says, heart is a very good fertilizer. Anything we plant, whether it is love, fear, hate, hope, revenge, jealousy, surely grows and bears fruit. We have to decide what to harvest. Means our heart is a place that can be, let's say, we can sow it with any of these qualities, any of these, attributes. We can plant our heart with love, fear, hate, hope, or we can plant it with revenge, jealousy. Whatever we plant, it is going to grow and it is going to reap, or we will be able to harvest it. It is up to us what we want to harvest, what we want to get out of it. If you want to get love out of it, you need to plant love. If you want to get, let's say for example, revenge out of it, you need to plant hate, right, in it. So this is the thing. So we should decide, and we should plant something that is going to be beneficial for us, for the humanity at large, right? And Swami Vivekananda has been a propounder of peace, right? He has his philosophies towards peace, world peace, right? So this is the thing. So today let us discuss about the topics that we are going to understand through MCQs. So we will understand about the International Court of Justice. We will learn about Pegasus software. We will learn about domestic systematically important banks. In short, they are also known as DSIBs in India. We will also understand about a government scheme which is known as Shrestha scheme. We will understand ExpoSat. It is a kind of satellite that has been launched by ISRO on 1st of January 2024. We are going to discuss about some nuclear installations in India and agreements related to nuclear installation. Then the concept of beta, we will understand about the concept of beta with reference to stock market. So then we will understand about animal birth control rules 2023. We will learn about trade of biofuels in India. We will learn about a national park, which is Mukhurti National Park. So let's discuss about these topics one by one. So this is the first topic. We will understand this topic through a question, right? So it says, with reference to the International Court of Justice, consider the following statements, right? So they have given 3 statements, and these 3 statements are related to International Court of Justice. The International Court of Justice plays a very, very important role. The International Court of Justice has been established under the United Nations Charter. So the United Nations organization that was created, right, it does have a constituting document or founding document, which is known as the UN Charter. So in the UN Charter, they have mentioned about establishing a court, which is International Court of Justice. This International Court of Justice is one of the 6 primary organs of the United Nations system, right, of the United Nations organization. That's the thing. And the International Court of Justice, it does have a statute, which is known as the Statute of International Court of Justice, right? So related to that, they have asked 3 questions. They have given 3 statements, and they have asked which of the above statements are correct, or how many of the above statements are correct. Let's read these statements one by one. It says, all the members of the United Nations are also parties to the ICJ. Definitely. All the member countries of the United Nations organization, they are parties, right, to the International Court of Justice, because International Court of Justice is one of the primary organ of the United Nations. Then second, in order to be elected as judge of the International Court of Justice, a candidate must receive an absolute majority of votes in the United Nations General Assembly as well as United Nations Security Council separately. This is also correct. Although the voting process happens simultaneously in the, let's say, United Nations General Assembly and the United Nations Security Council, but the member who wants to be a, let's say, judge of the International Court of Justice, he should get absolute majority, and that's why the voting happens many times, right, in the ICJ. That's the thing. Okay, so in the International Court of Justice, there are 15 judges, right, and these 15 judges are elected, right, they are elected by the United Nations General Assembly and United Nations Security Council. Third statement, the International Court of Justice has no jurisdiction to try individuals accused of war crimes or crimes against humanity. This is also right. Basically related to crimes against war, crimes against humanity, there are other courts. One of the court is known as International Criminal Court. Okay, International Criminal Court looks into that aspect, but the International Court of Justice looks into the aspect that is related to dispute between two member countries of the United Nations organization. Okay, and when we talk about International Criminal Court, right, if they want to try an individual, that particular country must be a signatory to the Rome Statute. Okay, there is a Rome Statute, so that country must be a signatory to it. So all the three statements are correct. It means option C is the right answer. Now let us talk about this particular question, which says, which is from UPSC Prelims 2019. It says, consider the following statements, right? They have given multiple statements. This statement is related to United Nations Convention Against Corruption. Okay, it says it has a protocol against smuggling of migrants by land, sea, air. The United Nations, let's say, Convention Against Corruption is the first legally binding global anti-corruption instrument. This is right. So this question, first and fourth are second and fourth statements are correct. It says United Nations Office on Drug and Crime is mandated by its member states to assist in the implementation of both UNCAC and UNTOC, like that. Okay, so UNCAC and UNTOC, United Nations Convention Against Transnational Organized Crimes and all. Okay, this is the thing. So with this, let us quickly move to the second, second question. This question is related to Pegasus spyware. Okay, Pegasus has been in news because Pegasus is a kind of spyware. Using Pegasus, basically Pegasus has been created by an Israeli company. It is known as NSO Group, and this NSO Group sells the Pegasus software to the sovereign government, right? They sell it to sovereign government and law enforcement agencies. So the thing is, intelligence agencies of different countries acquire it, right, and they use it to, let's say, track down terrorists, to track down, let's say, those people who are let's say anti-national elements and all. But the thing is, like in India, the Pegasus software has been used against journalists, has been used against opposition members, right, of the parliament, right? So which is not correct, which is not right. I mean, like, this is not a good trend, right? So this related to this, there is a question. It says, with reference to the Pegasus software, consider the following statements. Pegasus is a spyware developed by Israel's NSO Group. This is right. You have heard about it many times. There were news articles based on this. It is designed to access any smartphone through zero-click vulnerabilities remotely. Okay, you don't have to click and give permission to install this software. This software may get installed automatically, right? They use the vulnerabilities of the operating system that is there in your mobile phone. Okay, using those vulnerabilities, the NSO Group, the intelligence agencies are able to install this software in your mobile, in your computer. Generally, it is installed in your mobile phone, and after installing in your mobile phone, they will be able to, let's say, track everything. They will be able to access your gallery. They will be able to listen to whatever you are speaking on a phone, right? They will be getting access to a microphone. They will get access to a camera, everything, right? So this is the thing. Third, it has real-time access to emails, phone calls, camera, sound recording capabilities of the smartphone. This is also right. All the three statements are right. Correct answer is option C. Pegasus software was in news multiple times this year, in the last year as well. So it is a very simple question. But in previous year also UPSC has asked question from spyware, or let's say they have asked question from similar areas. It says the terms WannaCry, Petya and Eternal Brew, sometimes mentioned in the news recently, are related to cyber attacks. Okay, means WannaCry is a kind of ransomware. Using WannaCry they can lock your computer systems. They will ask for ransom in bitcoins. If you are able to pay ransom in bitcoins, they will unlock your system. Otherwise your system, every file gets encrypted. You will never be able to use your system again. That's the thing. Okay, so this is related to cyber attacks. Now let us move to another article or another question. So it says, with reference to domestic systematically important banks in India, consider the following statements. Here the question is related to domestic systematically important banks. So generally domestic systematically important banks are those banks that are very big in size, that are complex in size, in operations. And if these banks fail, then it will lead to chaos in the financial system. The financial system may be at the verge of collapse. It's going to face significant damages. So that's why the Reserve Bank of India announces which banks are domestic systematically important banks, right, in India. So let us discuss about 3 statements related to this, and we will understand how many of the above statements are correct. It says a bank is considered as a domestic systematically important bank if its failure might seriously disrupt the financial system. That's true, right? Second, the Financial Stability and Development Council releases the list of DSIBs in India. This is wrong, because this list is released by the Reserve Bank of India. It is released by the RBI. So second statement is wrong. Third, ICICI Bank and HDFC Bank are classified as domestic systematically important banks. The third is also correct. So how many of the above statements are correct? 2, which is first and third. Second statement is wrong. Then here we have a question from previous year. It says, what are the purposes of the marginal cost of funds based lending rate, MCLR, which is announced by the RBI? These guidelines help improve the transparency in methodology followed by banks for determining interest rates on advances. Okay, so this is marginal cost of funds based lending rate. Basically, Reserve Bank of India has announced this MCLR. So MCLR is used as a benchmark rate by the banks to decide about the interest rate that they are going to charge from their customers on the loans that the banks are giving to the customers. That's the thing. So first statement is correct. Second, it says these guidelines help ensure availability of bank credit at interest rates which are fair to the borrower as well as to the banks. Second is also correct. So C is the right answer in this case. So with this, let us move to another topic. This topic says, with reference to Shrestha scheme, right? Shrestha scheme. Consider the following statements. They have given 2 statements. We need to identify which of these statements are correct. It says, it aims to provide coaching to students who intend to participate in various competitive examinations. This is wrong. It is being implemented by Ministry of Education. It is wrong. Okay. So let us understand about this Shrestha scheme. Okay, so this is a scheme of the government of India. This scheme, both the statements are wrong in this question. Correct answer is option D. But we need to understand what is Shrestha scheme. So Shrestha means a scheme for residential education for students in high schools in targeted areas scheme. Okay, so through this scheme, through this Shrestha scheme, right, what the government is doing, basically government targets some of the areas which are, let's say, deprived of educational thing. So in those areas, basically they target students from vulnerable communities, and these students will be put into those schools which are known as residential schools. Means students can reside in those schools, right, in hostels, and they can acquire education, right, at very minimal or free of cost, right? So this is Shrestha scheme. And why it was recently in news? Because the thing is, like, the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, right, has recently helped 2,500 students from scheduled caste, right? And these 2,500 students were provided admission in residential schools in different states. So, like, these students got benefited through this Shrestha scheme. So this is being implemented not by Ministry of Education, but by Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Okay, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. I've just written it short. That's the thing. So we see a previous year question. It says Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. So in the last day's discussion, I have discussed in detail about Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. So through this Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, the government tries to connect institutions of higher education with local communities to address the developmental challenges through appropriate technologies. And the thing is, some professors from IIT Delhi have initiated this program. They have started visiting the local communities to help them address the problem technologically. Okay, so Government of India has adopted it, and then they have spread it across the nation. Means, like, institution of eminence and institution of higher education, they will assist in the development and growth of local communities. Okay, that's the thing. So with this, let us now quickly move to another topic, which is, it says ExpoSat. With reference to ExpoSat currently in the news, consider the following statements. Basically, like, this ExpoSat topic came like on 1st of January, it came on 31st of December and on 30th of December. Why? Because the Indian Space Research Organization has recently launched the ExpoSat satellite. Okay, it has launched ExpoSat satellite using PSLV, Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. This has been launched in the low Earth orbit, right? It has been launched in low Earth orbit, and this ExpoSat satellite is going to study various, let's say, cosmological phenomena through X-rays, right? It is going to do a spectroscopy. So I have discussed in detail related to this, and there are two payloads as part of it. Okay, there are two payloads. Payloads are instruments that are added in the satellite so that these instruments perform one or other operation. Okay, so let's see this question. So it is India's first dedicated polarimetry mission to study various dynamics of bright astronomical X-ray sources in extreme conditions. This is right. Second, it will carry two scientific payloads in geosynchronous orbit. This is wrong. Although it will carry two scientific payloads, but like, it is not in geosynchronous orbit. They will carry it in low Earth orbit. Geosynchronous orbit is at a distance of 36,786 kilometers, which is, let's say, like, very far. When we talk about low Earth orbit, all the orbit above the surface of Earth, which are below the height of 2,000 kilometers from the surface of Earth, are considered to be low Earth orbit. And this ExpoSat will be sent in low Earth orbit. Let's say, like, this is Earth, right? This is Earth, and this ExpoSat will revolve around the Earth, right? Will revolve around the Earth in a kind of circular orbit. Okay, I have just drawn one of these orbits, circular orbit. So this circular orbit will be very, let's say, like, very near to Earth. Around 650 kilometer circular orbit. Okay, 650 kilometer. And what are the names of the scientific instruments or payloads? One of the scientific instrument is known as Polix, Polix, and other is known as X-SPECT. So what is Polix? Polix stands for X-ray polarimeter, right? And S X-ray spectroscopy and timing payload. So these are the payloads that have been added into this particular satellite. Okay, so only first statement is correct. It means option A is the right answer, right? Option A is the right answer. This is a previous year question, 2018. It says, with reference to Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System, IRNSS. So this IRNSS has been recently renamed also. Now we have renamed it as NAVIC, Okay, navigation with Indian constellation. It says IRNSS has 3 satellites in geostationary and 4 in geosynchronous orbit. This is right. It has 7 satellites, right? It forms a constellation. Second, IRNSS covers entire India up and about 5,500 square. It covers entire India and 1,500 or 15,000 square kilometer, like that. Okay, it is not 5,500. I'm sure it is 1,500 or 15,000 square kilometer around Earth, around India. India will have its own satellite navigation system with full global coverage. No, it's not. It's wrong. Only one is right. Okay, which of the answer is correct? Only A is right. So with this, let us now quickly move to another question. This is question number 6. We will discuss about this question. It says, consider the following statements. India and China exchange a list of their nuclear installations under the agreement on prohibition of attacks against nuclear installation and facilities. This is wrong. It is not China. This is Pakistan, right? So India and Pakistan has signed an agreement. It is a bilateral agreement under which India shares the details of its nuclear installations and facilities to Pakistan. Pakistan shares details of its nuclear installation and facilities to India. And they both agree that they are not going to attack each other's territory on these locations. Why? These locations are very important because they are going to create nuclear accidents, and nuclear accidents are very dangerous, that's the thing. Okay, so this is a kind of, let's say, like, conflict resolution measures and confidence building measure between these two countries. Second statement, the agreement mediated by World Bank came into force in 1991. This is wrong. This agreement is not mediated by World Bank. This is an agreement that is that has been let's say, signed by these two countries directly. Okay, World Bank mediated agreement is there between India and Pakistan, but this is related to a kind of, let's say, Indus Water Treaty. Okay, so we do have Indus Water Treaty that was signed in 1960, and that was mediated by the World Bank, but not this agreement. Okay, both these statements are wrong in this question. All right, so I'm going to talk about the name of the agreement that exists between India and Pakistan, under which we share, let's say, information of nuclear installations or facilities with one another. And it is known as the Agreement on the Prohibition of Attack Against Nuclear Installations and Facilities. It is a bilateral agreement between India and Pakistan. Okay, that's the thing. Correct answer is option D. Okay, option D is the right answer. Here they have a previous year question, 2016. It says, in the Indian context, what is the implication of ratifying the additional protocol with the International Atomic Energy Agency? Okay, so we have ratified, basically there is an additional protocol to the International Atomic Energy Agency. If we sign that protocol, basically we will provide, right, access to our nuclear installations, nuclear powered plants, to the International Atomic Energy Agency. They are going to do inspection. They are going to see whether there are some vulnerabilities exist, right? That's the thing. So the civilian nuclear reactors will come under International Atomic Energy Agency safeguards. Okay, that's the thing. So with this, let us now quickly move to another question. This is question number 7. It says, with reference to the concept of beta, consider the following statements. Beta, okay. UPSC has asked a question on the same concept of beta in the year of 2023. So what is beta? Beta measures the fluctuations in a stock relative to changes in the overall stock market. Okay, we know stock market, like in India we have Bombay Stock Exchange, we have National Stock Exchange. So those companies that have listed their shares publicly to be traded into the stock market, means like these companies have released the IPO, FPO, initial public offering, and after then their shares are being traded into the stock market. So the thing is, if there are any macroeconomic vulnerabilities in India, across the world, that leads to, let's say, fluctuation in the stock market, So related to the changes in the overall stock market, what is the value of beta for a particular stock? There can be some stock which is more susceptible to international thing, and its price value may go up, down very, let's say very frequently. Means like it can be more volatile as compared to other stocks. And that is known as beta value. Okay, using beta value, you will get to know that which stock are more volatile as compared to other stocks. Okay, some stocks are more volatile as compared to other stocks, so that can be identified or understood using beta value though. So first statement is right. The beta value above 1 implies lesser volatility associated with the stock. This statement is wrong. Okay, the second statement is wrong. Now we need to understand this particular thing. Beta measures the responsiveness of a stock's price to changes in the overall stock market. On comparison of the benchmark index, for example NSE's Nifty, to a particular stock return, a pattern develops that shows the stock's openness to the market risks. This helps the investors to decide whether he wants to go for the riskier stocks that is highly correlated with the market, which is beta above 1, or with less volatile one, beta value below 1. Okay, means some stocks that have a beta value above 1, which this is more volatile as compared to the market, and some stocks that are having a beta value less than 1, they are less volatile as compared to the market. So a beta value of above 1 implies more volatility. Okay, it implies what? More volatility associated with the stock market. So how many of which of the above statements are correct? Only A is the right answer. Now let us see previous year question. It says, in the context of finance, the term beta refers to. Okay, so it is a direct question. The statement 1 is direct from this thing. So what is this beta? Beta is a numeric value that measures the fluctuations of a stock to changes in the overall stock market. Okay, that's the thing. That is the beta value. So if you purchase a share that has a beta value of less than 1, means you are purchasing more stable share. Okay, that's the thing. So we have another question. It says, consider the following statements regarding the Animal Birth Control Rules 2023. It's a new topic. Basically, Government of India has come up with Animal Birth Control Rule 2023. Now it says, it provides guidelines for the sterilization and immunization of stray dogs through animal birth control programs. This is right. The rules classify stray dogs into a new class of community animals. That's also right. Resident Welfare Association will be responsible for caring for stray dogs and feeding them at fixed intervals. That's also right. All the above statements are right. Okay, so in the explanation we have included much more detail related to the Animal Birth Control ABC Rules 2023. Then we have another previous year question. It says, in India, extended producer's responsibility was introduced as an important feature in which of the following? Okay, extended producer's responsibility. It is related to e-waste management rules. Okay, so it is the e-waste management and handling rules 2011. Okay. So basically extended producer's responsibility, you might have learned about it, heard about it. Those manufacturers of electronic goods, right? They have the responsibility of, let's say, taking back the electronic items even after, let's say, even after its lifetime, even after, let's say, the device malfunctions and all. So this is for recycling of e-waste. So that has been in news many a times. Now we have another question. It says, consider the following statements regarding trade of biofuels in India. Okay, trade of biofuels in India. So it says, export of biofuels is banned from special economic zones. This is wrong. Both import as well as export of biofuels require a license. That's correct. So how many of them are correct? Option B. Why we are studying biofuels? Because recently Conference of Party 28 to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, COP28, was held in Dubai. So there all the member countries have agreed to transition away from fossil fuel based energy. So that's why in India, we are promoting usage of biofuels, and Government of India has already initiated right? Ethanol blended petrol program, right? So like, we want to utilize biofuels, but there are certain kinds of, let's say, like, things that can be used for creation of biofuels. Now we will go through a previous year question. It says, according to the India's national policy on biofuels, which of the following can be used as a raw material for production of biofuels? So some of the material can be used for production of biofuels, not all the materials, because like we need to, let's say, balance, right, between two competing priorities. One is, let's say, like, climate change, other is food security. So if we are focusing more on climate change, what will happen to our food security? And recently there was a report of the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization that has said in South Asia itself, that has 8 countries including India, there are 1.4 billion people like who are, let's say, like, facing food shortage. They are facing, let's say, like, acute hunger issues. They cannot afford to have, let's say, food for themselves, healthy diet for themselves. So that's a grim picture. Okay, so today we discussed an editorial discussion topic on that in detail. So now let us discuss about this thing. It says, according to India's national policy on biofuels, which of the following can be used as raw materials for the production of biofuels? So we can use this cassava, we can use damaged wheat grains, we cannot use groundnut seeds, we cannot use horse gram, we can use rotten potatoes and sugar beet. Okay, these are the things. So for this, you need to learn about the national biofuel policy. There they have mentioned about those food items that can be used in production of biofuels. Okay, there are different generations of biofuel as well. Okay, so like different generations of biofuels. Now this is the last question for the day. It says, consider the following statements about Mukhurti National Park. Okay, this national park is in news, so we thought of covering this national park through a question. It says this national park is located on the Nilgiri Plateau in the state of Kerala. This is wrong. This is located in Nilgiri Plateau, but not in the state of Kerala, but in the state of Tamil Nadu. Okay, it is located in the state of Tamil Nadu. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This is right. The park supports the growth of Shola forest also. This is also right. Second and third statement are correct, means only 2 of the above statements are correct. This is the thing. Okay, Mukhurti National Park, we have given the map, we have given the detailed explanation related to this. Learn about it. It is located in Nilgiri Hills, right? So you will learn about Nilgiri Hills also. A lot of details we have provided. So download this PDF from the description and learn more about it. Now we have another question, previous year question. Which of the following national park is unique in being a swamp with floating vegetation that supports rich biodiversity? It is Kebul Lamjau National Park. Okay, Kebul Lamjau National Park. Option B is right in this case. So that's all from my side for the day. Thank you so much everyone for attending today's session. I hope you have a good day ahead. Thank you.